So apEX, I know second place in the group, but obviously before we get to that, I kind of wanted to go through this change that you guys have undertaken during the off season. I guess first of all, kind of what issues did you identify? Kind of what pushed you to make a change during this off season?
Well, the true thing is on the T side we didn't have lurker, sorry. So obviously we had a role issue in that sense because misutaaa and Dupree were like the same role. Dupree, Madesclaire had to take all the lurking areas. So and that wasn't working really well. Not everyone was feeling like comfortable in the what they were doing. So yeah, that's what happened most likely on both ways.
Why did you feel like misutaaa was the one who had to go in that aspect then? Was it also down to kind of the fragging? Because obviously, in the past few months, I guess the stats were kind of showing that he was struggling a little bit to put up the numbers.
I think misutaaa is a really great player, but he has to be used in a certain way. So I think the coaches, obviously it's not my decision, the coaches prefer to stay with Dupree for the entry fragging part, to put him on every entry fragging part condition. So that was most likely that, I guess, just because they know that also Peter can be, with misutaaa I have to micromanage a lot, and with Dupree, with his experience, it's way less. So yeah, that's what most likely that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now you were saying, you obviously touched on this a little bit already on the roles. When you were announcing the change, you were saying how the roles are now perfect. Do you feel like that's still kind of like after having a chance to play it through a little bit more and having some more practice?
Well, I felt our T side today were really good. We had like Lotan in late rounds with Zaiwu, who are like two really good players, so it's not easy for the opponent. Me and Peter were like all entry fraggers going there, and Magis have like his own areas, lurking or not, or playing aggressive or whatever. So I felt, of course, it's much better. But anyway, we had to change a few positions on city sides, so of course we had to work on that, and that's not easy, obviously, but that's what we struggled the most today, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to touch on this last game as well. Obviously, CT side of Mirage kind of didn't really go your way. I think the only rounds that you guys managed to win were force buys. Didn't really bank on that. What happened there?
Well, once again, we have two new positions. I don't think it's an excuse, but we have two new positions. Me on B and Spinx that used to play short is playing connector now. It's really different role than short. You have way more things to do, and I think you need to adapt more and have more experience on the position. Obviously, yeah, we lost a lot towards the mid and getting first kill and that kind of stuff. But it's how it is. I'm not like frustrated at all. Just the first tournament together, we had like 6 days of practice, so we're gonna get more and more to get better as soon as possible.
What about in terms of Dust 2? I noticed that Spinx was kind of like put in the pit position.
Yeah.
Was that always going to be the case? Do you feel like that's the best place to put him in this team, or is it just how it worked out with the rest of the team?
I think we also watched stat-wise how he was, and I think Dust 2 was his worst map, like almost 1 or below 1 rating. Okay. So we decided kinda to change his positions. It was like the B rotation and B lurker. Now he's long, and I think it's a position I'm really good at. So we're really good on the city side most of the time. So we just try to put one for one with misutaaa and Spinx, and me staying on my position, because once again we always had the grid city side most of the time. So yeah, why changing something that works? And I think also it just everyone, me, I'm okay to play some anchor positions, but I also need to enjoy what I'm doing. And obviously playing only anchor position is pretty tough, so we try just to mix things up for everyone, and it's just really good.
Now you guys have kind of lost this 3-2 split in the team with the French and Danish side. I'm curious about how this has kind of impacted your approach to the language. I know at first you were kind of making sure that everything is in English, but then you kind of realized maybe it's still good to play out clutch positions and stuff like that in your own languages. How does it work now? Do you kind of accommodate Spinx in this way, or how does it work?
I'm not gonna lie, I think when Zaiwu and me are in clutches, we speak French because I think it's more fluent and it's way easier. And I think when the Dane are together, they try sometime when they don't understand each other, they just speak Dane. Obviously for Spinx it's a bit harder because he doesn't understand our native language. But yeah, obviously we're trying to speak English as much as possible. But yeah, when it's tight and we 2v2, for example, 2v3 with Frenchies, we speak French. It's more fluent, obviously.
Cool. I mean, last thing I wanted to ask about, I noticed you guys have your mental coach here, or at least he was around on the first day. I don't think that's a particularly typical setup for you guys. I think it was more like a boot camp setting that he was used in before. So what's the significance there?
I think, he decided to, and Vitality, I guess, they both decided that he will come more with us, just to be closer to us and understand situations, I guess. So yeah, that's why he's here today.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.